אני רוצה שהממשלה הזאת תמצה כל צדק, כל אפשרות לקדם להגיע לשלום כולל.
18 years ago, 3 shots ended the life of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and changed the country's course of history. Once a gaping wound in the national psyche, time has dulled the pain and faded the memory of the man and his legacy. Here at the Israeli Museum, at the Yitzhak Rabin Center in Tel Aviv, people like Dinah Scheiner and Tzvika Stenzler spend their days keeping the memory alive, sometimes poking at the painful wounds in order to do so.
When I was 19 and was about to join the army, Rabin was assassinated. That point, for me, was a real moment of change. Even then, as a very young soldier, I realized that democracy in Israel will never be the same again. Many years later, that's what brought me to work at the Rabin Center.
Tzvika Stenzler was already a soldier on that fateful day in November 1995.
I was in shock. I remember that I couldn't sleep in the same night. I think many Israelis couldn't go to their regular life after what happened.
Established in 2010, the museum tells the story of Israel through the life of Rabin, the first prime minister to be born in Israel. For some young visitors, this is the first encounter with Rabin as more than a name of a road or a school.
Yitzhak Rabin is a bit like a Ben Gurion or Herzl, or very distant historical figure, definitely for young children. It doesn't mean to them much that it was 18 years ago. For them, it's as if it was 50 years ago.
Rabin himself, though revered by many, was no stranger to controversy, and the same goes for his legacy.
They think that you're not going to talk about problems in his life, about the very hard decisions that he got. After the tour, they'll find out that everything is on the table.
Visitors to the museum are expected to not only get better acquainted with Rabin's legacy, but to understand the dangers of extremism to Israeli society.
The idea that democracy in Israel is very important, and that point in 1995 should never happen again. So how can we live as a society with all the differences we have and make decisions, and no doubt in the future we'll have to make hard decisions. How do we do it without hurting all the different people that live in Israel?